Batsu, version 7.4.
Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, we will see, what are the best PC VR games, that you can play right now. I'm going to share with you, my personal favorites. So, it's going to be an absolute blast. Let's go on. Number 10, I have Superhot VR. It is the closest thing you're gonna get to being Neo in the Matrix. This first-person shooter runs in slow motion unless you, yourself, are moving, in which case, things speed up to real time. Meaning, you can dodge bullets coming straight at you, while firing off headshots, which if you play it right, you can outnumber, and I've done tons of enemies, by simply maneuvering through a storm of slow-motion bullets. At number 9, Lone Echo. With some of the best VR movements I've experienced, sharp graphics, a lengthy story, and an excellent and free multiplayer mode, Lone Echo is one of the most epic and complete feeling VR games out there. Every interaction is well acted, with some genuine emotion behind. The story is fine, but moving in zero-G using your arms to push and pull yourself with a little help from jets is the star of Lone Echo. Lone Echo is one of those games that demonstrate the value of VR, and hand tracking feels great. It could not exist any other way. Next, Resident Evil 7, Biohazard. With most of the best VR games being bite-sized, Resident Evil 7, Biohazard, is a breath of fresh air, even if it's a simultaneously horrific one. This is the first installment in the Resident Evil series that you could say was designed with virtual reality in mind. That's because, unlike the entries before it, Resident Evil 7 is played using a first-person perspective. Don't assume you can just run and gun your way through the game, however, as Capcom has taken Resident Evil back to its survival horror roots with Resident Evil 7. As such, you'll have to think tactically about how you manage to survive encounters with the game's freaky enemies. At 7, Moss. Imagine peeking into a tiny dollhouse world, where a fairy tale mouse hops around to save the world, and solve puzzles. Moss puts the player in the position of helpful spirit, guiding a little mouse hero on a massive journey through a little magic kingdom. Each level feels like a living miniature, and the illusion of being close to a tiny, living world is perfect. This is a beautiful game. PolyArc sets an immensely high bar for storytelling in VR, exuding careful and deliberate artistry in every aspect, sound design, lighting, camera, visuals, to create a world worthy of straining your back to see the area in 360 degrees. Next at 6, is Doom VFR. Doom VFR is best described as a VR adaptation of 2016's popular reboot of Doom, rather than a full port of that game into VR. This means Doom VFR features a different story and campaign, with heavily tweaked combat dynamics, designed with VR in mind. This title is best suited to a standing, or room scale setup, as the game will frequently require you to raise and lower your profile and turn around quickly to deal with enemies coming from all directions. This title adds free movement using a controller, but the game was originally designed to use a teleportation system when covering large distances. Then, we have Asgard's Wrath. Asgard's Wrath is one of the greatest titles produced since the birth of VR gaming, perhaps the most ambitious ever. Even its models are over the top. The last God of War is clearly quoted, but Sun Tzu's game manages to build its strong personality with challenge and taste for discovery, using our double dimension, divine and terrestrial, to stage a VR show never seen before, for graphical and playable details. It's a beautiful world, excellent combat, great interface, and straightforward but detailed story come together to form something spectacular. At 4, every Star Wars fan dreams about one day wielding a lightsaber in real life. Until that glorious day, virtual reality offers the next best solution. In this 3-episode series, you get the chance to explore Darth Vader's fortress and all the perils within. Its impressive attention to detail can be appreciated by new and longtime fans escaping into the Outer Rim. As the story pushes its limits to innovative heights after Episode 1, a few hitches in gameplay can be distracting in very demanding moments. But despite some of these flaws, as you uncover the mysteries of Vader's castle, each chapter improves with engaging mechanics that shine in the dojos.
And death.
Next at number 3, while not an officially licensed Star Wars game, it's easy to see where the inspiration for this action music game came from. Wielding a pair of controllers, you smack at blocks with lightsabers, to the rhythm of catchy instrumental tracks. Slashing through these blocks may not be as satisfying as slaying a stormtrooper, but it's pretty darn close. The replayability of this game makes it a solid number 3. Number 2, Walking Dead: Saints and Sinners does a better job than almost all zombie games of making you feel like you're keeping the undead horde at arm's length. And it does this by literally letting you hold a zombie off with one arm while you break a bottle on their head, flip it, and then jam the jagged end through their squishy skull. The combat is truly grim, with weapons getting stuck in walkers, requiring you to yank, jerk, and jimmy them out of or through your enemies. There's a loose narrative built around helping out the various actions of post-apocalyptic New Orleans, which keeps you stepping out into the undead-infested city streets for new supplies. But the grisly melee combat is the real draw here, letting you create your own melee finishers, and leading to plenty of ad hoc brutishness. Now it is time for number 1, and that's, of course, Half-Life Alyx. Whether you're a fan of the original series of video games, or coming into the franchise fresh, you can play Half-Life Alyx like a normal single-player FPS, or experiment with all the little additions which Valve has dotted around. With Half-Life Alyx, Valve has undoubtedly taken a pioneering leap, crafting a game that showcases what VR can do for the gaming experience, without compromising what makes the Half-Life series so great. And that's my personal top 10 PC VR games so far, with new VR games coming frequently. This list will surely change before the end of the year. And with big games like Half-Life Alyx coming to VR, the future of virtual reality is getting more and more exciting. Do you agree with my list? If not, share your favorite VR games in the comments section. Please remember to like and subscribe to keep up to date with the world of VR.